Hello, Miraculers! I'm finally back with another animation mistake video. This time we'll be analyzing 4 episodes and I'll show you the mistakes one by one. Let's not waste any time and dive into the video. Princess Fragrance. At the beginning of the episode, when the whole class is attending Miss Mendeleev's lecture, the camera shows different parts of the class. Between the scenes, there's a problem with his bag. At first, we're not able to see it. However, in the next scenes, we see that his orange or yellow bag is back. During the lecture, Marinette, who's late, suddenly enters the class and due to her clumsiness, she falls. During these scenes, Adrian's bag seems to be positioned on the ground, but later, we see that it's absent. In the next minutes of the episode, Rose gets caught by Miss Mendeleev while she is writing a letter to Prince Ali. And in that scene, when the students turn to her, we see Juleka's body clipping through the desk. Shortly after being caught by Miss Mendeleev, Rose is sent to the school mayor's office. During the scene where she leaves the class, we see that Alex's hair is pink. At the end of the day, when the students leave the school, Marinette and Alia talk to each other. While they talk, you can see that Nino is wearing his bag. But when Marinette stumbles and almost falls, we see that Nino's bag is absent. Hearing that Chloe will communicate with Prince Ali, Rose wants her to transmit her letter to him. But of course, Chloe laughs at that, tears the letter, and says goodbye to Rose. Between these scenes, we see that Notre Dame appears and disappears in the background. In a short moment of the episode, when Sabrina closes the door of the car and Rose desperately sits on the ground, Marinette is looking somewhere else. But in the next second, when the scene zooms in on her, we see that she's looking in the opposite direction. After Chloe goes to the hotel, Sabrina leaves and walks home. But shortly after, when Marinette runs after the car, Sabrina is nowhere to be seen. Marinette, after disguising herself as a pizza delivery person, uses the elevator to find Chloe and get Tiki back. After she goes up and leaves the elevator, there is an animation mistake where you have to look very carefully. Her bag clips through the envelope she wears. Rose, after getting akumatized into Princess Fragrance, goes in front of the hotel and uses her spell on the bodyguard. However, at first, there's no tool in her hand, but later, it appears out of nowhere. Chloe gets ready to meet Prince Ali, and to show her respect, she gives him Tiki. During that scene, I want you to look at her bag, because in the next scene, it disappears. There is a similar but weirder animation mistake after that scene. Chloe wants to take a picture of Prince Ali. We already see her bag's hanger, but in the next scene, the hanger looks like it's made of something like gold. Quickly after sneaking into the hotel, Rose finds Chloe, Prince Ali, and others. When the others escape from her, you can see that Chloe is wearing the bag, but in the next scene, the bag disappears. When there is a weird smell coming from Chloe, and the others try to cover their noses, we see a mistake on Prince Ali's jacket. Normally, Tiki should have stayed inside, but it turns out she is hanging on the outside, which is not possible. Princess Fragrance, when she corners the crew, reveals a large amount of perfume that spreads through the air. In a short moment, we see that Chloe is wearing her bag, but later, the bag disappears again. As you can see in the previous scenes, Tiki is actually inside the pocket of Prince Ali's jacket, which is positioned on the jacket. However, in the car, when we hear Tiki sneezing, she is seen inside the jacket. Marinette, after recovering Tiki and transforming into Ladybug, puts a latch on her nose to avoid breathing in Princess Fragrance's magic perfume. But during some of the scenes, the latch disappears. Cat Noir, who is under the spell, starts attacking Ladybug, but Ladybug somehow manages to defeat him. When Cat Noir is high up, holding his stick, Marinette manages to knock him down. While he is falling, we see that there is no stick attached to his back, but later, the stick reappears. At the end of the battle, Marinette finally gets the object, breaks it, and purifies the Akuma. However, if you look at the Akuma carefully, you'll notice that it doesn't have the glowy texture it's supposed to have. At the end of the episode, when Prince Ali sees Chloe near Rose, he tells her that he's going to spend his time with Rose, which makes Chloe go crazy. But there's a problem here. Rose never says her name to Prince Ali. How is that possible? Pixelator. At the beginning of the episode, students have a mission to help the mayor with responsibilities inside the hotel. When Andre Bourgeois reads the tasks, one of Alia's eyes blinks. After a lot of events and Vincent getting akumatized, he arrives at the hotel as Pixelator. The bodyguard and Kim don't understand the seriousness of the situation and pose, thinking the spell of the akumatized villain is just a selfie. In this scene, you can see that his eyebrows are missing. After seeing Pixelator, Marinette transforms into Ladybug, and then the battle begins. During the battle scene, we see Ladybug jumping across many points. In a specific moment, we see that her hair goes through her head. During the battle, Ladybug's hand gets shot by Pixelator's akumatized lens, which results in her hand being pixelated. But after a few scenes, we see that it's no longer pixelated, which is a mistake. The same thing happens when Ladybug uses her special power Lucky Charm. Since her other special power Miraculous Ladybug hasn't fixed anything yet, this is another mistake. At the end of the day, when Mr. Andre and Ms. Bustier talk about the event, we see a bizarre detail in the scene. When Andre starts talking, the watch on his arm goes crazy. But the problem isn't limited to Mr. Andre. When Penny distributes the tickets to the students who were chosen for the Jagged Stone concert, the hanger of Chloe's bag is inside her body. Copycat. When the episode shows the school, we see the inside of Adrian's locker. Inside his bag, there are his shoes. But later, when Marinette tries to delete her message from Adrian's phone, we see that Adrian's shoes are outside of his bag. But there's also another weird thing here. When Marinette takes a look at Adrian's phone, the back cover of the phone is black. But back in her room, when Marinette tries to meddle with his phone, the back part of the phone is now white. After Theo gets akumatized into Copycat, he steals the Mona Lisa painting while disguised as Cat Noir to put Cat Noir in a bad position in society. But in later scenes, the painting reappears. When Ladybug sees the news about Cat Noir, she wants to contact him. For that, she opens her yo-yo. But there's a huge problem, because the colors of the yo-yo are inverted, and this problem still lasts for a couple of scenes when she talks to Cat Noir. When Ladybug finally finds both Copycat and Cat Noir, she tries to test which one is the real one. For that, she goes near Copycat and asks questions. In that particular scene, while Ladybug's ear moves, the earrings stay in the same position. At the end of the episode, when the scene shows the class, we see an interesting mistake. If you look at Juleka's outfit, you'll see that it is white. When Marinette accidentally drops Adrian's bag, we can even see it better. The Bubbler. At the beginning of the episode, when Nino and Adrian talk about how strict Adrian's father is, we see Max in the background, entering the school. However, there's a problem. His glasses are missing. While Nino and Adrian talk, Alia tries to encourage Marinette to go talk to Adrian. However, Marinette is too anxious about it. While Alia feels disappointed, the top of her hair goes inside her head. After failing to give Adrian the gift, Marinette decides to deliver it by going to his home. However, since the Agreste mansion is very well protected, she is approached by a camera. When Marinette explains that she wants to give her gift to Adrian, the eyeshadow on her left eye is absent. After Nino gets expelled from the Agreste mansion, we see that he has his bag. However, when he goes to the bank to chill out, the bag is gone. But in later scenes, the bag appears once again. Shortly after Nino gets very angry about Adrian and Gabriel's situation, we see a butterfly approaching him and infecting his object. However, there's a problem. After getting infected by the butterfly, a purple color should have appeared on his face. During Nino's akumatization scene, Hawkmoth wants to obtain the Miraculouses of Ladybug and Cat Noir. However, when the Miraculouses appear on screen, we see that Cat Noir's Miraculous is positioned incorrectly. In the kitchen, when Marinette is having lunch and Sabine is in the living room, we see how the knife is positioned. It's on Marinette's left side, but later, the knife is on the right side and the fork is on the left. While having lunch, Marinette shockingly witnesses her mom being lifted into the sky by the Bubbler's bubble. While watching everyone float away, Tiki appears and Marinette starts transforming. This is totally weird because everyone should be able to see her. Also, there's an interesting detail here. When she transforms, she doesn't have her purse, but when she detransforms, her purse suddenly appears. After transforming into Ladybug, Marinette goes out of the bakery. In the background, you can see that the door is open, but in a quick scene change, the door seems to be closed. Ladybug, with only a few seconds left before detransforming, decides to leave the Agreste mansion and detransforms. But after she detransforms, the antennas she had as Ladybug still remain. To confirm that her gift is inside the Agreste mansion, Marinette and Alia sneak in. At the beginning of that scene, we see Marinette wearing her purse. However, when she and Alia check the gift, the hanger of the purse is absent, but later it appears again. After Ladybug and the Bubbler battle, Cat Noir appears near Ladybug and poses to attack. Meanwhile, Ladybug grabs her yo-yo and it hits Cat Noir's head. In that specific scene, you can see that the string of Ladybug's yo-yo is actually attached to her hips. During the battle between the heroes and the Bubbler, we see other people watching. However, there's a problem. If you look at the right side of the crowd, you'll see Kim, Rose, and Max. But in the next scene, additional characters appear, such as Alex, Chloe, and Sabrina. Also, the people who were on the left are now positioned on the right. To save the day, Ladybug breaks the akumatized object and purifies the Akuma. However, when the Bubbler is deakumatized, we see that the broken object is back and completely undamaged. And the video concludes here. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like the video, and comment which animation mistake surprised you the most. See you!